to the Jess Strom Show. It is Tuesday, January 17th, with two lovely ladies from the Cal U Women's Basketball Program. We have Deja Terrell and Sierra Lloyd. For the people that don't know you, which they already should know you, can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi guys, I'm Deja Terrell. I'm from Reading, PA, and I'm a senior.
All right.
Hey y'all, I'm Sierra Lloyd, and I'm from Scranton, PA, and I'm also a senior.
You know what? I want to say something though, because I think it's kind of cool. We always see you guys as basketball players. You know, you're on CUTV, you're playing. What's your major, Deja?
Sports management.
And what do you want to do with that? Do you know?
I definitely want to become a coach, but I'm thinking about getting my master's in communication because I kind of want to lean over to the sideline commentator type of thing. So.
Okay, great. C, for you.
Business administration, and I think I want to open my own gym, like the Spooky Nook type thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Great goals. So I think it's sometimes nice to see you guys in a different light and you know, what your goals and aspirations are, you know, after basketball and all that jazz. So let's talk about season. Really interesting. For the folks out there, I'm not sure if they can see the lower half, but we got Deja with a brace and we got Sierra with a boot. So two captains have a little bit of the injury bug, and you know, obviously, Deja, you're in an unfortunate situation, super just for you, but handling it well. If you just want to talk to us a little bit about your injury and kind of just what you've been facing with that. You know, obviously, senior year, went through preseason. Just kind of discuss, you know, what your thoughts are. Your injury, for the folks that don't know, that haven't seen your maybe Instagram post or don't know what's going on, just explain that to everybody.
Well, I recently tore my ACL completely back in October. Just got my surgery done December 8th, but the journey is a journey. It's ups and downs, so I just try to stay positive and just push myself to limits that I've never been to before and just really overcome and be the beast that I know I am. That's
right. And Deja, tell us how hard it is. You know, I can't even imagine when you have to go and you have to sit and watch. Talk to us a little bit about what that's like, because I don't think people truly understand, you know, how much time and effort you guys put into this. And then when something like that is kind of taken away, how that feels and how you have been able to overcome that.
I can definitely say it was a reality check for me. Like being out there all the time, playing almost 40 minutes a game to not playing any time at all is definitely like a heartache, but it just makes me better as a person. Like my mindset is getting better. In the beginning, I definitely was just like, I cared, but it was hard for me to focus and like just want the best out of everything. But now that I'm getting through a lot of obstacles and certain things and I'm growing as a person, I feel like I just want the best for everybody out there. Mm-hmm. And I know my team will do what they have to do to win every game. So
awesome. That's awesome. And Sierra, for you, you have the injury bug, but you are playing a lot of minutes. And talk to us a little bit about, you know, how you've been able to overcome that and be able to, game by game, practice by practice, be able to figure that out and play with what you got going on.
Just think for me is that I'm always in the athletic trainer room. Like I've been in there since August. I'm in there day in and day out, just trying to get my ankles stronger. But every game, something always happened to it. So I just feel like I go back to square one, but I'm just always in the trainer's room.
Yep.
Doing rehab, treatment.
Just trying to get there and be ready day by day.
Day by day.
Just getting better and better.
Definitely.
Well, good. Well, talk to us a little bit about, ladies, for you, the progress that you've kind of seen this team make, you know, from the beginning of the season until now. I don't even want to talk about preseason because I feel like we're way beyond past that. That seems like an afterthought. You know, you do it, you get through it, and then you start to games. But why don't you guys speak to me a little bit about where you think our team is and, you know, how you think we've been progressing?
I think we're still growing, and I don't feel like we're at our best yet, and we have time to become the best that we can be. But I feel like the group of girls that we have handled diversity, challenges, all types of things very well. And we're just going to keep pushing and getting better and better. Like you say, day by day, we get better and better. And I truly do believe day by day we get better and better.
Yep. And see, for you, being out there kind of like the floor general as the point guard, what have you seen in terms of, you know, you playing with a lot of different people? I mean, we have some people that you haven't played with before. I would say Hallie right now, Hallie, Tal, and Z. are the only people that you have played with in this program. So talk to me a little bit about building trust and building relationships and just kind of seeing the progress that you've seen.
I feel like in the beginning we did have a lot of growing pains, but like as the season went on, we talked about it. We're always in the locker room before games, after games, talk about what we want to do and how do we fix things. So I just feel like it wasn't a big trust thing. It was just a big, I feel like for me, it was just like a big like, can I lean on y'all?
More like comfort.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, am I comfortable like giving y'all the ball or doing that? Do I have to do everything? But like as the season went on, beginning of the season I was like, do I have to do everything? But as the season went on, I feel like I could trust them. I could lean on them.
Yep, absolutely.
100%.
And the thing that's unique is, you kind of have a very much veteran group, but a new group. Obviously, I think Hallie is that consistent anchor that we have another captain. So you guys as the captains, along with Hallie, being like the anchors for the squad. Talk to us a little bit about how it was to kind of get to know veteran players that have already played in the PSAC and have already played other places to be able to fit them on the squad.
I think it was pretty dope, honestly, especially with the girls that we have. Like sometimes coming from being a senior and transferring over and having to learn everything new like a freshman does, sometimes it can be challenging for that person just to be able to, bring it back down a little bit. But I think everybody played their role and did what they had to do to become one in this program, and I think we're going to keep getting better.
And you make a really good point on that is, a lot of time people have played, but they just played in different systems. They play a certain way. Like they know how to play college basketball, they know the pace, but they don't know what we were doing. So it's going to take a lot of learning for that. What are you guys, what are you most excited for as we are, heavy into PSAC play, huge games coming up. What are you most looking forward to?
I think just playing like back to back. We usually have like a day off, not even a day off, like it's just a day of getting to work and then back at it again. But just going out there and playing with my team, having fun.
Yep. And Deja, obviously your role is different, right now, not being out on the court, but what do you think that you bring to the table right now? I can tell you, but I want to hear what you have to say about it.
I feel like I bring good energy to the team and just my knowledge of basketball. Like I try to always encourage my teammates and give them whatever I know, feed them as much as I can so they can be better. And I want them to hear me at all times, so I'm always yelling in practice. I'm yelling in the games, so they know I might not be physically on the court, but I always got your back no matter where I'm at.
And you're not going to cut a corner in front of Deja. You're just not.
Better hit the line.
You won't cut a corner. You won't not hit a line with Deja watching, which I love. And that's, I always say this as leaders, guys, it's not always easy. I say that, it sounds good. The title is awesome to have. Like you feel proud, you were named captains, but that title comes with a lot of responsibility. Can you speak upon both of you, sometimes what that's like to feel the need to teach, inspire, motivate, but also hold people accountable? Is that challenging at all for you?
For sure. Me and her were actually just talking about that. So we have 3 captains. It's me, Hallie, and Sierra, and we kind of put it on a pyramid. Like I'm first, Sierra's next, and there's Hallie. So when it gets to me, it's like I cut it right in the bud. Like, oh, you didn't touch that line. You didn't touch that line. But once it gets to Sierra, it's like, all right, now I know you heard her say you ain't touched the line twice. But once it gets to Hallie, it's like,
oh, no,
you know what?
Fed up.
She's fed up. Everybody's done. So it's like we have different roles, and I nip everything, but then she has my back. Hallie has our back. So I think pretty good.
That's great.
Yeah, I just feel like it's like sometimes we got to separate ourselves. Like, yeah, we're captains and we're teammates, but like we have a priority to do besides being your teammate. So like we got to keep you in check. We got to tell you what it is and what you definitely don't want to hear it, but like it's all out of love. And we might not say it in a tone you want to hear, but it's just all out of love. Like.
Yeah, and I always say this, it's tough. So we do a lot of 3-minute drills, and the intensity of those are so high. I can tell you they are high. You guys can say that they are high because it moves so fast and we do it so quick. We blow no whistles. It's 3 minutes and then 3 minutes again, back to back, and it's fast and it's quick. And you have to be on your toes. And if you're not with rotations, if you're not with playing hard, it can get, and I don't want to say heated, but it can get intense. The temperature can raise. How do you guys think the best way to approach people in those kind of atmospheres? Like what do you guys try to do as players? And now you're different on the court and off the court, because there's 2 different roles. But what do you guys try to do? Talk to some people about some of the tactics that you use to reach people.
I don't know. I'll honestly just be right at them. Like I just tell them what it is, because if I just try to sugarcoat it, that's not me. I'm not being my true self. So I've just got to tell you what it is. If you're not there, get there. Like I'm not gonna keep telling you. If you're not there, we're gonna get online. We're gonna run one together, and we're gonna get at it again.
Yep. Great. Now, obviously for the program, I think you always have long-term goals. We write goals at the beginning of the year, and they are for team goals and self goals. And how do you guys think right now that we are moving forward to obtain those goals, both for yourselves? Your goals have changed, but how do you think that you can move forward to help our team achieve goals and then help yourself attain your personal goals that you have?
I think just staying consistent with hard work and giving everything your full effort. Like never take a day off to slack. Like Coach Jess will always tell me, like, if I did something a day when they didn't give my full effort, she tells me, like, you didn't hurt yourself. I mean, you didn't hurt the team, you hurt yourself. You didn't get 1% better today. So it's like every day try to get 1% better, and whatever goal that we do have, we will accomplish no matter what it is. If we put our all into it and play how we're supposed to play, we'll accomplish every goal.
Absolutely.
Well,
C for you?
Honestly, I probably don't even remember the long-term goals I wrote down on the paper. But I don't. But I just feel like if we stay consistent, but like if we're being consistent and not going nowhere, then we're not doing nothing. But if I feel like we stay consistent and we're progressing every day, then we'll reach what we got to reach.
Absolutely. And I think the goal here for Cal U, and I think it's known is always, you got to get the playoffs and you got to fight for a championship. And I think that's the first thing. I mean, obviously you always want to win your games. You take it day by day, but like to get to a championship, you got to go one game at a time. So how do you get your guys self-focused on staying very present in what you have at the task at hand?
Go ahead.
Well, basically, like I said last year, you have to play each game in the moment, but as soon as that game is over, forget about that game and get prepared for the next one. So, like you said, the games are going to be coming back to back to back coming up. So we play our games on Wednesday. Thursday, we have to have a fresh mind, forget about whatever happened on Wednesday, and get prepared for Friday. So if we keep that mindset, we'll be fine.
So what you're saying is we got to come ready to go every single day.
Every day.
Whether it's practice, shoot around, games, and then you also got to take care of yourself in the classroom too, making sure you're doing everything right. And see, to balance that out, like, how, besides staying in the training room, how do you get yourself ready to be able to take the grind of practice, games, playing a ton of minutes and all that?
Well, I try to get in the gym a little more, but like when it's games and we're back to back, I usually play the game. We'll have film, but like I usually like to watch film by myself, so
Yes.
I watch it again, so it's on my mind. So I'm not like Deja said, that's not a fresh mind for me. So I'm thinking like, oh, what do I do better? What could I do? Could I do this? Should have did this? Should have did that? So like I probably watch it. I watch it with y'all, with the team,
Yep.
and then I watch it probably like 2-3 more times.
No doubt. We know you're watching it right after the game. You've already seen the film before we're in film, so which is great. Now, gang, tell me how you feel right now. Like, what does it mean, like, when we get to play at home? So we're playing Mercyhurst tomorrow. And I just want to make sure that people out here hear how much it means to have support of fans, students, professors, anybody that can come to the game. What does that mean to you guys?
I mean, it means a lot, but I feel like the women's sports don't get enough support from professors, students, whatever. But like when the men's play, like our game's right before the men's, so you could just come to both. But like I feel like we don't get enough support.
So tell them to get out there, right? Like there's a good product.
I tell everybody get out there.
There's a good product on the floor. So Deja, what does that mean to you when you have support, of other people and of the program?
Honestly, it means the world. Like we like to play and we like to put on a show. The style of play that we have is like, it's something to watch.
Gritty.
It's not just regular basketball for us. Like we play street ball, but in the proper way of being with the officials and everything else. So it's gonna get rough. You're gonna hear some yelling. You're gonna see us on the floor, some blood, sweat, and tears. Literally, it's a show. Like, come watch us.
Yep. And folks, you heard it first here from Sierra Lloyd, Deja Terrell. Ladies, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for giving a little insight of kind of how you guys operate day to day with Cal U women's basketball. And we will be right back with Jess Strom.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out? You can say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You can chat with them in VR. It's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
And welcome back to the Jess Strom Show. Jess, it's been a while since we've been here.
It's been a long time, yes.
How you doing?
Great.
Yeah?
Middle of the season, I'm ready to go.
Ready to go? Fighting day by day.
I heard.
I feel like I'm going to say that every show. So let's talk a little bit about, let's go back in time. I know we had this show at the very beginning of the year, I think, when we came back from the
I think right before
Charleston.
Fairmont, maybe.
Yeah. It was after the Charleston and after the West Liberty and Charleston game, and haven't had a chance to sit down and chat, but a lot has happened in that short amount of time. Some ups, some downs, and a whole lot of getting better, I think, for the Vulcans. Can you talk to me a little bit about your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think a whole bunch of adversity, but I think we've grown a lot since then. You know, if I think back about those games and just thinking about how we played back then, I think we've gotten a lot better since then. Even, I think we have a better idea of how we want to play. You know, we had a lot of new people. We have a lot of injuries. We had some people quit the team. So there's been a lot going on in that amount of time, which, you know, a season is always like that. But I think this season, especially, a lot has gone on. So I feel like we have grown. And I think we've gotten better.
Yeah, and I think that motto that you always hear, you're gonna win or you're gonna learn. And I think not only did we learn, but I think that we grew. And I think that's really key to any type of team that you're on, is that you see progress, you see a little bit more consistency. And we had some big changes, you know, within how we are playing. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so, you know, I think, I feel like before this last time we had a show, we didn't even talk about Deja's injury.
We sure didn't.
We were not even talking about that, which is huge for us, you know. I mean, her presence is obviously very important to our team, so we had to adjust quickly. You know, like, she played in the first two games, and then I feel like our players had to adjust kind of quickly and learn. And we had one returning starter out there. Hallie played a lot of minutes, so I guess, you know what I mean? Yeah. I can count her as that also. But the way we play is challenging, and I know they talked about it earlier. If you don't have people that have been in the system for a couple years, it's hard to learn quickly and on the run and on the go. So I think after we came back from the Fairmont game, I think we had just decided, like, we have to make some changes defensively, just to help ourselves out. Like, we can't keep doing the same thing and waiting for us to get it and understand, which is not always their fault. Like, it takes a while.
Absolutely.
To get, so I think we just had to make changes. And, you know, I give them all the credit in the world, because we came in that day and said, we're going to make these changes, and that was it. Like, there was nothing. It was just like, okay, let's do it. And I think they got it quickly. And I think since then, we've been giving up a lot less points. I think we've been, you know, we don't get as many turnovers on the defensive end, but I think we have stayed out of foul trouble.
Which is huge.
Yeah, which is really important for us, to stay out of foul trouble. So I think we've accomplished those things with changing our defense a little bit. And I think they've done a good job, you know, reacting to that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, what people don't understand is when you go through a season, things happen. And I feel like not only have we hit the injury bug in terms of availability for players. But, have you been a part of a season in a long time where you only have so many people available for both practice and for games? It's been a while.
It's been a while where it's been this low. I don't remember
Shorthanded.
the last time that you had to practice every day. Maybe here and there, but it's...
For the folks that don't know out there, let me just make sure that that's very clear, that a 40-year-old former athlete that is not in the best shape of her life has to practice against 18 through 23-year-olds. So that is interesting. That doesn't really happen often, but you got to do what you got to do, right? And you got to make yourself better. So injuries have really 3 season-ending injuries, and then some things happen along the way that is out of your hands. So you just kind of roll with the punches. Is that what you say that you think that we did?
Yeah, I think we have no other choice. I mean, we're either going to figure it out or we're not. So, like, on Wednesdays and Saturdays, the other team doesn't care how many people we have to practice, right?
Sure.
They actually probably hope we don't have enough people to practice. So, to me, it's like we just have to adjust. We have to figure it out. We have to do the best we can with what we have. And I feel like our team has done a good job with that.
No doubt.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's just what it is. Like, now we know every day you're going to have your shorts on and you're going to be dressed, and it's just which team you're on. Everybody gets excited or not.
Yeah, you're either going to be happy or not happy, depending on what team that I'm on. Obviously, not bringing a lot of shooting efforts to the table or defensive footwork. But, hey, got to do what you got to do.
Yep.
So coming up, what are you most excited for? I know, obviously, we have a huge week in front of us. Really good teams that we're playing, all battling, for top spots. Mercyhurst on Wednesday, and IUP on Saturday, in Seton Hill. But, what are you most looking for, especially against, let's talk about at least Mercyhurst as we have coming up?
Yeah, I think that Mercyhurst is a good team.
Absolutely.
I think their record is decent too. Their record is good. It's about similar to us. And they're very close in a lot of games.
So close.
Yes, and we watched them earlier. We got a chance to watch them live at our opening tournament. I think they're a good team. They play hard. I think it's going to be a battle. I think this year, more than any year, the middle is just jumbled up. It's
Yes.
like one game between a lot of people. So every game is really, I know we say that all the time, but every game is really, really important.
And if you see the standings right here, you can see, obviously, Gannon right at the top. We just lost to them. But you have clusters here. So for second, you have IUP, California, UPJ. And then in third, look down the line. It's Seton Hill, Mercyhurst, Edinboro. All just a big cluster in the PSAC of everybody fighting to survive.
Yeah, so that's why it's so important that you show up every day. Like, we can't take any game lightly or for granted. I don't know why we would, but we can't. Like, we have to find our energy every single game because everybody else is fighting too. It is definitely a battle. So I just think tomorrow, for Mercyhurst, we're at home. I think we really like to play at home. I think we feel comfortable at home. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good game.
And instead of looking forward, let's actually, since we haven't talked about it, let's go back, take a trip down memory lane just a little bit. Let's go back to Edinboro. I thought we came so ready to play that game. Jess, talk a little bit about Edinboro, and I know we have some highlights coming up.
Yeah, I think that was probably, for me, our most focused game. We showed up. I think we definitely had a game plan because they play a little bit different. And I think our team followed it really well. I think we were aggressive. I think, you know what I mean? We just did what we had to do. I feel like it was solid. Like, everybody knew what we needed to do, and we executed really, really well.
And Edinboro is really aggressive. For the people that haven't watched them, press for 40 minutes, high intensity. In fact, I believe they were second in the nation in forcing turnovers at the time that we have played them. That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough to play against, and obviously we talked about that as a team, taking care of the ball, limiting our turnovers, especially turnovers where they get the ball and go in transition and score. So, for us, it was huge. And, it's hard because Sierra is our only point guard. So for her, that means 40 minutes of being pressured, being pressed. And you see a lot of teams have done that this year, even with just one person. So I don't know, unless you've been in that situation, you really understand, the energy it takes to do that. So it's hard, and I thought we showed up. I think people made layups. A lot of these are layups. And if we're getting layups, I think we're going to be pretty successful. So, I think this was a game that was a kind of a turning point for us.
Showed a lot of
as
guts.
A team. Yeah.
A lot of guts, a lot of grit, and just was able to get the job done. And let's not forget that Edinboro, we had a nice little lead, and Edinboro came crawling back, and this was the first time I felt like we handled that kind of state of affairs really well. We were not frazzled, we were not worried. We just kind of took care of ourselves and got stuff done when we needed.
Yeah, there have been some games in the past where we had a big lead and then let people come back a little bit. But I think you're right. I think we were just solid. Like, there was no panic. There was nothing. Like, okay, they made a little bit of run, but we're going to run right back. And just stay solid. And I think we did a good job with that. Down the stretch, just hitting big shots. Like right there, that's a big shot.
Sure thing.
She hit 2 of them, I think, down the stretch, just to kind of, and we made free throws too at the end, which
Absolutely.
is huge.
And they win games. And right after Edinboro, I feel like it was the Battle of Erie. We go to Gannon in a spirited rivalry. Tell us a little bit about that game, Jess.
Yeah, I mean, Gannon and us, I don't know if there's any love lost between the two teams, but that's what it's about. You know what I mean?
That's what happens in the PSAC.
That's what happens, especially when you're 2 of the teams that are typically at the top. You know what I mean? It's just, that's the way it is. And I think we played hard. Obviously, we got down in the first half. We had some foul trouble, which we haven't had in a while. I think you see Hallie here making some big plays in the first half to keep us close enough, just close enough. And I think in the second half, we really came out. We had a goal, to cut that lead down by the fourth quarter. I think we did a good job attaining that goal, and we were right there. I mean, it was a 2-point game.
Yeah, I don't think the final score was not indicative of how close that game was down the stretch. And, hats off to the player. I actually thought Hallie came really, really ready to play this game. Obviously, some big hits, getting to the rim, a little bit of inside out. And it was really physical. That is a physical game. Obviously Gannon plays a ton in the half court, and fighting for rebounds and different things of that nature. But I was so proud of that effort that we came out in the second half, and Sierra got going in the second half, scored 20, and battled back, and we were right there. And obviously, just looking forward to getting that rematch again.
Yeah, and it was really nice to see the fight we had, because obviously it's on the road. That's a tough place to play. It's really loud. And to fight back, like at halftime, we could have just packed it in and said, you know what, that's it. But I think we fought. And
It's
like
not
I
who
said,
we are.
I mean, we were down 3, Sierra shot a 3, and it was in and out. So that was, you know what I mean? Like, it was that close down the stretch. But I think that's what you get when it's 2 of the top teams in the conference going at it. They obviously played hard too.
Yep.
And I think it was probably a fun game to watch.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of shots down the wire were made. I feel like there was some high scoring action in the third and fourth quarter, and just love to see kind of firing on that offensive end in that third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, so the shot right there, you see we obviously had it within 2, and then we get it within 3 again. It was just like getting over that little hump. But I was proud of our team's effort. I think we made a little bit of mental mistakes down the stretch defensively. I think we could have done a little bit better executing down the stretch that way. But as far as effort goes,
yeah,
and you're mad about it.
And it's so interesting as a coach. I feel like there's so many times, like when we've had losses this year, you're super disappointed. Not that you're mad or angry, but you just know that you could be better. This one, I don't think there was any kind of feeling about our effort level. Like we weren't like, hey, we didn't give effort. Sometimes we just didn't make a play or execute. Is that kind of how you felt after that?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. And I feel like, okay, so we played up there. Now we know if they're in first place, okay, that's kind of the level we have to play at. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We know what it takes. We know what it is. We're going to play them at home, but we have to take care of these other games first.
Yep.
I feel like that's kind of our focus now. Like we played there. It's good experience. That was a tough game. I think we played hard. I think we had to play with 2 people off the bench for a while in the first half, so they got some experience there. But I think now we reshift focus. Now we take care of every game.
Yep.
Coming up.
And so exciting. Like we said, we have Mercyhurst tomorrow at 5:30, which is Wednesday. And then we have IUP away. And then we have, after IUP, we have at Seton Hill. So home for a game, then away for 2. And at this point in the season, as everyone says, and we'll say, there's no time like the present. You got to be ready to play that game that you're getting ready for the next day. There's no focus on the next one. It's not about, finishing. You're not thinking about playoffs. You're not thinking about anything. You're focusing on one game at a time.
Yeah, and to me, this is the best time of the year. You've put in work for a long time now, and this is where it's kind of like you can see the end even though you're not looking at the end, but you kind of feel a little bit different. Like,
Yep.
these games mean a lot. Practice isn't as long because we're playing. Our starting five play a lot of minutes.
Yes.
So it's kind of balancing between, keeping them fresh, still practicing hard.
Getting better.
Getting
Yep.
better. It's like you have to find that balance. But to me, this is like we're playing every Wednesday, Saturday. We play Monday next week, but it's just like time to go now.
Yep, ready to roll. So, folks, you heard it here. That's the story coming from Jess Strom. Big games coming up for the Vulcans. Love to have your support tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. at the Convocation Center versus Mercyhurst. Then we're on the road Saturday at IUP, and then on the road again on Monday at Seton Hill. So, folks, thanks for joining us on the Jess Strom Show. Again, please follow us along on the website, and if you get the chance, come to our game tomorrow. Have a great one.